Hello, everybody. Quick chat today about just checking in on real life. Here's a good way to say what's going on. So it's been a while since I've done a little update as to how fitness is going, being a new dad to an infant, and so just going to kind of touch base on that. I think I did one several months ago, but it's been a while. So quick recap there's no reason why would anyone else, be up to date with what's going on in my life? It's my life. So our newest addition to the family, we've got a little daughter, Lane. She is about to turn 8 months here shortly. We've got a 10-year-old boy and a 12-year-old boy. So 3 kids, just, busy life like anybody else. Hey, you can go back and watch whatever was one of the earlier videos I did on our daughter several months ago. She had colic for the first, 12 weeks or so, something like that. And I have nightmares to this day thinking about those times. She was an absolutely wholly unbearable terror. She was not a little fussy. She was a miserable hand grenade of agony. I know, it's my daughter. I love her, but that was the truth. Now, I felt bad for her. She was in discomfort every single day of her life, and we went down the road of is it gastrointestinal issues, it's some sort of food allergy. I mean, we tried every conceivable thing under the sun. Got a lot of input from all you wonderful people out there in internet land who dealt with something similar, sent me things to try and all that, and tried them all. We tried them all. But I really don't think anything actually did it other than just time. I think it just took the time that it took. Everyone said after somewhere in like the 4 to 6 month window, anyone who'd had a child with colic, it kind of cleared up in that 4 to 6 month window, and we experienced the same things. Thank goodness. Oh, I didn't have any of those moments that everyone talked about of like, I've got this new baby and it's amazing. They're such a precious little thing, and they just fell asleep on my chest, smiling. I don't have any memories like that. In my opinion, if every baby in the world had colic, the human race would come to a grinding halt because nobody would ever want to deal with that. But luckily, that's in the rearview mirror. And so as you could imagine, now she's just a normal child. She's upset if she's hungry, or if she didn't get enough sleep, or if her diaper needs to be changed, like the normal things. But she doesn't just scream bloody murder as if she's being tortured every waking moment of her life, which that's what it was like in the colic stages. So, luckily that's gone. As you could imagine, during those times, like it's difficult enough with any child to get in fitness and to make sure that the diet stays tight, and how's your sleep going, let alone with the one that is making really some serious waves, and that's what we dealt with. So now, at about the 8 month mark, here's just another check-in. Things are still hectic. Again, she's a normal child, but children don't have any regard for your schedule or when you thought you were going to get the workout in. Right now, as I do this video, she's napping. I might hear that she's suddenly, and she should be napping for, maybe another 15 minutes. But she might wake up early, and that's going to change everything. My goal today is when she goes down for her second nap in a few hours from now, that's going to be when I get in my workout today, the heavy overhead squats. I plan on her staying asleep at least an hour, so that should allow me to get in an actual real heavy day, because it takes a while to warm up. What if she has a bad nap and is up 30 minutes into the nap? That's going to suck for the rest of my day. My workout's going to go out the window, and I'm going to have to modify on the fly. And that's just how things have been for the last 8 months, and that's how they will be for the unforeseeable future. And I'm sure that a lot of people watching this find themselves in a similar situation, and it might be because of a child or an infant, or it might be because you're working 2 jobs, or it might be because you're going back to school at nights. I mean, whatever was the normal free time that you're used to having has eroded, and now you've got to just make do with whatever it is. So I will let you know. My days never go as planned, but that's okay. It's all good. I've been getting in fitness. I'll modify the workouts if I have to. Unfortunately, every now and then I have to cut out or really significantly reduce warm-ups, things like that, which just means I'll start the workout a little bit slower, and that's okay. I'll get my ego out of the way. I'll reduce the loading. That's okay. I'll just have it be a lower intensity day overall. That's okay. All of those things are money in the bank, money in the fitness bank, and they've kept my sanity and my fitness as good as it's been over the last 8 months, and it will continue to serve me well. So we always beat that drum here at Linchpin, right? That doing something's not just better than nothing. Doing something is infinitely better than doing nothing. And so let's go take a look at last week, because I did 5 workouts last week, and 3 of them got significantly disrupted. 3 out of 5. So 60% of my workouts did not go as I planned. Oh well, it's okay. Fitness was still achieved. I still did something every one of those days, and that consistency wins the race. Because even if this is a disrupted year in my fitness, it doesn't matter, because I plan on working out 30 to 50 years, and so I'm still getting things in this year. So remember, the tortoise wins the race, not the hare. This is a long-term game that we're playing. So on last Tuesday, February 15th, the workout of the day was Jerry, hero workout. It is, for time, a 1 mile run, a 2K row, and a 1 mile run. And I actually don't mind the workout. One of those crazy CrossFitters, I don't mind running. I almost want to use the word peaceful and enjoyable. I know that's crazy to some people, but I don't mind it. But I still like to warm up and get ready so that I'm just not taking step number 1 is the first step of the workout. But that's what happened with all the 3 children and job duties, and life just goes haywire. I had about a 30-minute window to work out or nothing was going to happen. And so I put on my workout clothes, started the clock in the garage gym, set the rower down, 3, 2, 1, go, and my very first step of anything was the first step of the 1 mile run on Jerry. That's okay. Needless to say, I didn't PR. Whoop-de-doo. I still got in 2 miles worth of running and a 2K row. Great. Who cares? Don't care what the time was. Got it in. Had to go back in, get back to life, duties, responsibility. Didn't get to cool down, nothing like that. Tried to get in a stretch later on during the day as I sat down on the floor and played with the little girl. That's it. But you know what? I consider that a win, because it would have been really easy just to say, screw it, today get away from me. So that was Tuesday. I was like, all right, fine. Tuesday got a little haywire. I'll make up for it on Wednesday. Wednesday will be a great day when we'll nail it. We didn't nail it on Wednesday. Wednesday was, Melanie, you took Linchpin to Guyana. Fantastic. Very cool. On Wednesday, it was a throwback workout, CrossFit Games Open Workout 11.1 from all the way back in 2011. That's a 10-minute AMRAP of 35 double unders and 15 power snatch. 75 pounds for men, 55 for women. A sneaky burner of a workout. So 10-minute AMRAP, 35 dubs, 15 power snatch with a light-ish barbell, but it doesn't feel light in round 2. Only a 10-minute workout, right? And a lighter weight. So, even if I had to cut down on the warm-up, a tremendous warm-up would not be needed. Didn't have a good day with a little girl. She was just fussy, more needy than normal. And so what that wound up being, and if you're listening to this in an audio format, you won't be able to see it, but if you're watching, I can step to the side. You'll see down there on the floor of my office a smattering of dumbbells. So I just keep a pair of 50-pound dumbbells in the house, a pair of 35-pound dumbbells in the house, and then I think that's a pair of 10s or something that I let my kids play with. And I just keep them in the house for whenever I need them, right? Just good to go. And so what happened on Wednesday was the workout wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to be able to sneak out in the garage. Eventually, Lane, our little girl, was quasi-content, but I couldn't really leave her. So I just sat her down in the living room floor. She had a couple toys that were occupying her time. It was about 7 at night. I had planned on working out about 6 at night. I planned on working out hours before that. Didn't happen. Walked into my office, grabbed a 35-pound dumbbell and a 50-pound dumbbell, walked back into the living room so I could see her. Wasn't going to do double unders in the house, so jumping jacks replaced the double unders. I basically did the limited equipment option from the private track. And my warm-up was nowhere near sufficient, okay? I enjoy a good warm-up, but life did not allow me to get in a good warm-up that day. So my warm-up for that workout was with the 35-pound dumbbell, because 50 was the prescribed. For about 2 minutes, I just did 10 jumping jacks, and then 5 dumbbell snatch. 10 jumping jacks, 5 dumbbell snatch. 10 jumping jacks, 5 dumbbell snatch, just casually, not moving at a crazy pace. And I just did that for 2 minutes. And then at the end I said, I'm warmed up, whether I like it or not. It's now or never. Started the watch, and for my 10-minute AMRAP, it was 35 jumping jacks and then 15 dumbbell power snatch with the 50-pound dumbbell. And that's 15 reps total per round, alternating each arm. And I just moved at a didn't set a PR, but trust me, I was huffing and puffing. I was sweating by the end of it. I think I got in 7 rounds, and it was a huge, huge victory. I can't remember if I finished 7 rounds or I was in the 7th round, somewhere around there. Irrelevant. It's in the BTWB app. I can go back and check it out if I want. And my cool down was just walking the dumbbells back to my office, and then I just sat down on the ground, breathing heavy, sweating, and started just, playing with my daughter to make sure that she was good to go. Bath time was coming and all this stuff. But that was my workout that day. That's it. 2-minute warm-up, the 10-minute AMRAP with jumping jacks and dumbbell power snatch, done. And that's fine. Thursday was a rest day, and then here's the last of the 3 days that I'm going to talk about, because like I said, 3 of my 5 days got disrupted. So with so much disruptions in the week, I was like, all right, look, I'm really looking forward to Friday, because like I said, I'm one of those crazy people that doesn't mind running. Friday was sprinting. Now, sprinting's a different deal. Sprinting stings bad, but I understand how valuable it is, so I kind of wanted to do it in a crazy CrossFit way. Friday's workout, which was the 18th of February, was 5 50-meter runs, then 3 400-meter runs, and then 1 800-meter run. It's a nasty day, but a beautiful and effective day. But a day that starts out with 50-meter dashes, 50-meter dash. I don't care what age you are. You don't want to just go into a 50-meter dash with no warm-up. It's going to be the last day that you and your hamstrings are friends. It's not going to go well. Something's going to get strained or torn. I can't play that game. So a good warm-up was critical. As is the theme of this video. Life had no regard for the fact that I wanted to get in a beautiful warm-up because it was a sprint day. All of a sudden, my wife and I had about 30 minutes to work out, and we looked at each other. We're like, it's now or never, isn't it? Let's do it. The little girl had just gone down for a nap, and again, we hoped that she would sleep an hour, but she might not, so we can only really count on 30 minutes. And right now in the middle of this video, I hear my wife out in the other room. She just got the baby up. That little devil did not sleep as long as we thought she would. Darn it. So goes life. Anyway, back to Friday. I took my little measuring wheel, some chalk. Our kids, have chalk that they play in the driveway with. I went out to the street. I marked out 50 meters. I already have my 400 course and my 800 course marked out, but I didn't have a 50. I just do it with chalk every time, and it keeps getting washed away. And I just looked at my wife, Emily, I'm like, I cannot just have this first 50-meter sprint be the first thing that I do. It's going to be the death of my hamstrings. So I jogged 50 meters at about 50 or 60%, walked back to the start line, did that a second time, walked back to the start line, and that was it. What a terrible, horrific, wildly insufficient warm-up for a sprint day. But that's what I had. And so I tried to not be a total fool. I did not go 100% on those 50-meter sprints, I can tell you that much. I probably did the first 1, 2, or 3. I did it by feel, but I bet they were about 75%. Plenty fast, but not in that zone of like, I'm taking a chance with my hamstring. I'd walk back to the finish line each time and then hit it again. And the last one, the final of the 5 50-meter sprints, that one was certainly my fastest and probably still not 100%, but plenty quick, and hamstrings felt fine. And I just said, you know what? It's way better than nothing. It's infinitely better than nothing. And if nothing else, those 50s served as a perfectly ample warm-up for the 3 400-meter runs that we now have to do. So my wife and I did the 3 400-meter runs. In an ideal world, I would have loved to have rested 4 minutes, I would say, between each one of those 400-meter repeats. But we didn't have the time, didn't allow me to do that. So our rest periods were between like around 2 minutes and 30 seconds to maybe 3 minutes, I want to say, which shorter rest made the intervals sting a bit more, and I couldn't run quite at the speed that I wanted to, but it was still plenty fast to call it a sprint day. And then that final 800-meter run, I certainly did not take the rest I would have ideally liked to have taken after the last 400-meter run before I did the 800. I would have wanted 4 minutes or more. Certainly did not get that. Looked at the clock, did some math in my head as to when I thought the baby may or may not wake up, and it was time to take off on the 800-meter run, like it or not. So I did the 800-meter run, came back in. All my hamstrings wanted me to do was do a nice maybe 5 to 10 minute cool down pedal on the Echo bike, maybe some slow air squats, and then a nice stretch. None of that happened. Didn't happen. We had the baby monitor with us by the time we finished that 800-meter run, and just caught our breath for a couple minutes and said, whew, thank goodness we got that in. We heard those amazing little sounds coming over the baby monitor that our little angel was up. So we had to go take care of that. And that's how 3 of my 5 workouts last week got disrupted. Whoop-de-doo. Fitness was achieved. I got something in every day. The diet has still been good. Massive win. I'm not worried about anything at all. And wherever you are in your life, if you can keep that mindset, keep the big picture in mind, no one single workout is going to make or break you. In all honesty, no one single week is going to make or break you. It's making consistent deposits in the fitness bank. That wins the race. And today's a heavy day. Heavy days, I would say, have been the most challenging ones because kind of like a sprint day, like you really don't want to shortchange a warm-up on a sprint day. I can't shortchange a warm-up on a heavy day. If I really want to lift heavy and respect the heavy days like we do at Linchpin, I need at least 20 minutes to warm up, to really get my body feeling good, to keep creeping up in the loading so that when I get under the barbell for my first actual working set, it's truly heavy. And then if I'm going to lift heavy on each one of those working sets, I'm going to need 3 to 5 minutes rest between each one of those heavy sets. And so you just can't rush a heavy day, which is why I'm also not a fan of doing a quick little strength session before you do a burner in a 1 hour class. It's not effective as far as I'm concerned. Heavy days take time to do them well and to really get the benefits out of them. And that's been one of the toughest things for me to do with the little girl is I need an hour. And I've gotten it every now and then, and it's been wonderful and glorious. And I hope that today is another one of those days where her second nap goes how I hope her second nap goes, and I'll really get in a true heavy day with the barbell. But if not, oh well, all hope is not lost. I will get something in, and I will be fine. And I have done on those days that have been derailed, which has been more often than not, is the Leo, the limited equipment option, has been a lifesaver, the daily dumbbell workout. Because, I can lift a pair of 50-pound dumbbells. The warm-up to lift 100 pounds can be shorter than the warm-up to lift several hundred pounds, right? If you're warming up for a lower weight, it takes a shorter time to get there. So I can be ready faster for the limited equipment option and get in a limited equipment option heavy day. And I've done that a lot. And those dumbbells and that option have absolutely saved my bacon during the kind of new dad phase. And so today, fingers crossed, it'll be a normal barbell day. But if not, That's fine. Got what I need to do in the app. I got the dumbbells here. I can bring them into the living room if need be, and I'll get in my heavy day with the dumbbells while the baby does whatever she does. And that's that. So, hopefully that helps. It's always great to share stories of everything's going amazing, everything's perfectly on schedule, never hit a bump in the road, every day is sunshine, t-shirt weather. But as we all know, often that's not the case. Life, this is not a pessimistic approach, okay? This is just, life can be a series of problems, and that's not a negative thing. But I think some people think that everything will go well and I'll be happy when I stop having problems. Well, I don't think that day is ever going to come. What you have to do, in my opinion anyway, to live a happy and successful life is just realize that problems and bumps in the road are inevitable. And so your ability to solve those problems, to manage those problems in a way that is realistic, that leads to long-term happiness and success. Because there's always going to be something going on. You just need to learn how to navigate it so that it doesn't stress you out and everything's good to go. Ooh, see, somebody said, hi from India. Hello, India. Hi from Washington State. Okay, that's about it. We'll see how the heavy day goes. I'm going to head out into the other room and see what's going on with the little girl, see if Emily needs some help. Thanks to everybody for being awesome. I always appreciate the honesty, the transparency, and ideally the authenticity that we try to have here at Linchpin. We're all living real life and trying to make the best decisions that we can. And it's often not perfect, but you do what you can with what you got and you drive forward. So support each other, be great, and I'll talk to you soon.